Now, this new nuclear subs, whatever the real price is, right? It just shows you a poor country can't afford to defend itself properly, not against China. So how productive we are is a national security issue. And my fear is this, that our politicians are making insane decisions that are going to make Australia poorer. I want to talk about that, plus a new threat that just jumped out of us over the weekend with the country's, I want to talk about the country's top finance writer, Terry McCrann of the Herald Sun. Terry, thanks for your time. Let me start with this threat that seemed to come out of nowhere. The United States has just been hit with its second biggest bank crash in history, the Silicon Valley Bank, after depositors panicked and pulled out their cash. The figures were enormous, something like, I don't know, $1 million US every second for, 10 hours or something. The bank loaned to tech startups that now can't access their accounts, and the impact is spreading around the world. Our own share market today fell 0.5%. How serious is this?
Andrew, if I could just quickly pick up on your last segment with Greg, well, ask yourself, which is a better spend of $200 billion, those nuclear submarines, or Dan Andrews' plan to build a railway line around the city of Melbourne? To me, $200 billion on but on the point of the bank collapse, yes, on the bank collapse, Andrew, yes, it looked like it could be a replay or a restart of the GFC for 2023, a very woke part of the world. I mean, California, Silicon Valley, this is very much financing high tech, not state-owned housing or normal sort of businesses. But right now, investors are actually seeing it as a good news story. Now, that might strike you and your listeners and your viewers as very bizarre, but what they think might happen is that on the first instance, the Fed has put a wall around the bank. It's trying to insulate it from spreading, the way we saw with Lehman Brothers in 2008. But secondly, it could cause the Fed to back off on raising interest rates and maybe even start to cut interest rates again, as it did in 2008. So right now, Wall Street's heading actually for a big jump when it starts trading later tonight. But the basic issue that you raise, Andrew, is we never really know where these leakages lead. When a big bank goes down, who's got an investment in it, who has been relying on it for funding. Right now, it looks like it's probably just the tech sector, and it's probably quite a small part of the tech sector. But obviously, it'll play out, particularly over the next week, but even longer than that.
But Terry, I'd have to say, it was like that crypto fund that crashed, after saying, we're here not to make money, but to spread good and all that. So Silicon Valley stuff. This bank was also as woke as you'd expect a Silicon Valley one to be. Here is this London head of risk management boasting that she's a queer person of colour and a first-generation immigrant from a working-class family, and she's busy creating a sense of community for the bank's LGBTQ plus employees and allies. Here she is.
So from funding underrepresented entrepreneurs to having multiple employee resource groups, I could not be prouder of working for a company like SVB.
Well, she certainly got that last bit right, Andrew. She couldn't be better working for a company like this, entirely white. And I think most people watching, Andrew, would say, if I've got to have a surgeon operate on me, I'd prefer that surgeon had the right qualifications, not the right gender dynamics. And equally, I think the message is it's just as important for people running your money to be effective and qualified to do the job rather than to deliver some sort of benefit to a woke generation.
I know, it so drives me nuts. But some idiocies here, I don't have time for all of them that I mentioned. The first is New South Wales Liberal Premier Dominic Perrottet, ahead of next weekend's election, or the weekend after, promising to spend $850 million on giving every young child $400 plus another $400 a year to match contributions from parents and grandparents to set up a future fund for a new home and education when they turn, I think 18 or something. Here he is.
We'll put $400 in and we'll match you dollar for dollar.
Terry, what do you make of this plan to take money from people who saved it themselves, to give it to children who haven't saved at all? This is not just socialism to me, it's theft, isn't it?
Well, as you say, Andrew, when you analyse that word, we will give you $400. It's not actually we as in the politicians or the bureaucrats, it's our money. Well, that of New South Wales taxpayers. It could have been worse, I guess, Andrew, but I think it speaks to a bigger issue around at the moment that politicians are increasingly grabbing and handing out our money back to us to buy our votes. And we always see this. It's always a problem in election processes, but it's become far more profound, far more widespread now. I think it's also telling you that we have a New South Wales Premier who is getting pretty desperate.
I think that's absolutely right. Free money here, bring us your children, we'll give them $400 a pop. I mean, I've never seen something so naked and so desperate and really ridiculous. It's theft from the thrifty to just buy votes. It's disgusting. Terry McCrann, thank you so much for your time.